Now, going over to the political part podcast, you have David Hogg saying that Joe Biden's chief of staff secretly ran the White House when Joe Biden allegedly was doing stuff. Now, this is also credited to Project Veritas for undercover report. Not too much further ado.
One question for me is like, how corrupt is the DNC if so many people knew, or few people knew about Biden? Well, the president of the United States.
I mean, I think the fact of the matter is the DNC is always going to be like a campaign arm of the president, ultimately. The bigger issue is like the inner circle that was around Biden. That's it.
And I can't stress to you enough.
But Joe Biden's chief of staff, like, had an enormous amount of power.
Joe Biden?
Joe Biden's chief of staff.
That was like an open secret at the level. Like, I would avoid them. Like, he was scary.
What was his name?
Anthony.
I've never seen him.
Exactly.
What do you mean?
He's like a shadowy, like, Wizard of Oz type figure. That's what made him so, like, I knew how he looked, but I'm like, the general public wouldn't know how this man looked. But he wielded an enormous amount of power, and I can't stress to you how much power he had at the White House.
Again, this is credited to Project Veritas and James O'Keefe. And again, Colin Rugg did post this on X, and he says, quote, David Hogg says Joe Biden's chief of staff, Anthony Bernal, secretly ran the Biden White House in a bombshell footage filmed by Project Veritas. Which, yeah, I think maybe someday we'll find out who is really in charge of the White House or the auto pen. And maybe it's this guy. This got 1.1 million views and 22,000 likes. Well, the first comments coming from the gas stove, our favorite contrarian, who literally has a profile description of professional gaslighter and masturbator, perhaps a fishing aficionado. Now, he says, quote, David Hogg knew what he was doing. He knew he was being recorded. He's intentionally trying to sabotage Democrats because they kicked him out. Never trust that gay. Oh, yeah, I thought it was a guy, but it was gay. David Hogg. And that got 156 likes and 27 responses. The gas stove says, guy, no offense to my LGBTQ plus brothers and sisters, getting 5 likes. H5 responded saying, quote, there's no way anyone with a lunch date with PV, unless they want to be on camera and have something leaked, LOL, getting 5 likes. They actually were not ratioed. The gas stove is usually ratioed. That's a rare instance. Gunther Eagleman did said, quote, can we just go ahead and arrest this dude now, getting 744 likes. Paul Zupa says, quote, hilarious seeing David Hogg caught spilling the beans like this. What a complete incompetent, getting 186 likes. I mean, I'm actually surprised David Hogg. Let's see here. What is this? What is the quartering saying? So clarification. I'll do this comment for clarification. XPL Lone Warrior says, quote, remember Democrats screaming that no one elected Elon Musk? Let's see if they have that same energy with this bombshell news. Getting 692 likes, and Colin Rugg says no one elected Jill Biden to run our country, getting 634 likes. Now, the quarterings did say, quote, David Hogg did not say what you claimed. The black African-American guy, or black Afro guy did. They got 34 likes. Now, Sarcastic Cat, A+ for marketing, they look like they really are. It's a Sarcastic Cat. It's like, quote, excellent point. It's also true that David Hogg did not attempt to correct the statement that Bernal was this real general secretary of the Biden Politico. I don't know how you spell that term. Oh, no, I can spell it. I can see it, but Politburo. They got 3 likes. Kevin Smith says, quote, the guy just can't stop talking. I think he's starting to be a Republican plant, getting 404 likes. Colin Rugg says, David Hogg is not a smart person. True. He's an opportunist and is very driven. There are a lot of lessons that we can learn from him. Getting 728 likes, which, yeah. I was going to say, he was the head of the DNC for New York Minute before they ousted him. So maybe he's just bitter and he's going to let some things, slide, or let some, things let the cat out of the bag, so to say. Taco the Troubadour, which he says, quote, in this profile description is, I speak for the tacos. Non-taco positions and opinions are usually someone else's and are fully negotiable. Taco Troubadour says, quote, not a fan of Biden, but this isn't exactly a White House chief of staff supposed to do. Another nothing burger for James O'Keefe, getting 56 likes. Now, this person, as youth might say, is ratioed out of nearly infinitely, because Colin Rugg responded saying, quote, this is Jill Biden's chief of staff. The answer is no. Jill Biden's team should not be running the country. Yeah, 1.2 thousand likes, ratioing, again, the taco guy got 56 likes. El Magnifico says, quote, how did David Hogg fall for this, getting 82 likes? And Colin said he's not a smart person, just incredibly driven and an opportunist, getting 250 likes. Western Lensman says, quote, Hogg throwing gasoline onto the smoldering ruins of the Democrat Party, and I'm here for it, getting 294 likes. Sarah Smith says, it's time. It says, it's time for many people to be arrested suddenly, getting 123 likes. That's the thing. Republicans are, they say they're going to do a lot of things. We'll see if they, suppressors ever get taken off the NFA, or if they actually repeal the NFA Act in 1934. I think that's one of the pieces of unconstitutional trash and most I read about in my lifetime. It'd be nice if they got rid of that, and Republicans say they're pro-gun, and I usually highlight that as like the key example of being two-faced or useless, where Republicans will say they're pro-gun, but they don't repeal that thing from 1934. Nearly 100 years of tyranny. They pass the House, maybe we'll go through Senate, who knows. But yeah, they say, they're revealing a lot of illegal things, but has anyone been arrested yet? Is Pam Bondi just on vacation still? I don't know what she does. She goes in front of the camera every once in a while. You also have Tiago saying, quote, so Biden wasn't running the country, and neither was Kamala. The Wizard of Oz behind the curtain was Jill Biden's chief of staff. That isn't presidency, it's a puppet show, getting 78 likes, rather. True. Angela says, David Hogg is a sick puppy. If he's generally aware of the corruption, yet sticks to his political party, knowing how corrupt they are, then he's just as corrupt. Yeah, getting 37, let's make it 38 likes. Christina Pushaw says, this is what Jake Tapper's new book says, too. Interesting, getting 154 likes. Now, again, given how much Joe Biden seemed to be inebriated or, having issues with dementia, stuttering even more than me, some might say. I'm not surprised someone else is really calling the shots. I think people are probably surprised, like this seemingly random guy from Jill Biden's chief of staff. He apparently, maybe he's the puppet behind the auto pen as well. But let me know. Do you think anyone will actually be held accountable for this, or think I'll, like most things, just be swept under the rug and they'll forget about it? Let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.